Okay, so let's go ahead and check out the many tools in this unit and their functions. First, we'll start with the potato French fry cutter. Install the running shaft. This is installed on top of that. Make sure that it interlocks. Next, we have the lid for the bowl. There's an arrow here that we can attach to that. The arrow lines up with the unlock. We'll turn it clockwise. Go here and feel that lock. Here's our pusher tool. Used to push things in there so that you never put your fingers inside. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to use a potato. We've got to cut in half here for it to fit perfectly. And for potatoes, it's recommended to use a higher speed, so 1 or 2. Alright, so here we go. First we'll install that. Put the pusher on top and alright. Let's have a look. You can work with a longer potato to get longer pieces, but we have some wedges here. There you go. Easy French fries. Just a fraction of the time as cutting with hand. Let's go over these two discs. These two are similar to each other. The real difference is just the size that they'll cut. So the first thing to show you is the working side here, the top side. So if it's this way up, it is going to be a thin Julienne. But if you reverse it, it'll be a very fine grating. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Install my running shaft. Use the running shaft for any of the discs besides the emulsifier disc. Very good. Very good. Alright, remove our pusher. Well, we're going to use a higher speed for carrots since they're a bit more firm. Let's have a look, see how it looks. So here we used our thinner Julienne. It'll leave just a small piece at the tip. How's that look? We've got fine, uniform, thinly sliced. Very nice. Very nice. Alright. Now we can change that blade and reverse it. So, let's dump this out. Use my handy spatula. Now we're going to use the opposite side of the same blade. So that was the Julienne blade pointing out at the top here. We're going to reverse it. You hear it lock. And you know it's ready to operate. It's safe to use. There we go. It's as good as a cucumber. Alright. So it has a nice wide opening here. Alright, let's give it a try. Very good. Be safe handling the blades. You can always grab them by the edges or by this, but don't grab them near the middle of the blade. Let's have a look at that. Very finely ground. Okay. So this is actually our more fine grater or fine chopper. Okay. So now what we're going to do is compare the two similar blades. So they both are Julienne on one side and grating on the other side. This is the results from the fine Julienne and the fine grading. And now we're going to compare that to the rough of the two. So this one is going to be a bit wider, thicker slices, more coarse. Alright. Put our lid on. Listen for that famous click. Good. Get our pusher ready. You never put your fingers in there. Never put your fingers in there. So let's start with some carrot. I'm going to use the faster speed setting for the carrots. Let's have a look at that. So this is a thicker Julienne. That's brilliant. So here we have some very vibrant colors. These are a bit thicker than the others. Still a Julienne. We have nice uniform size. Very nice. So if you compare that here, noticeably thicker Julienne. So you have some variety, but it's still versatile and not wasteful and convenient. So less washing if you need both in one day. So now let's flip that over. Here, we'll dump that out. We're going to grate the cucumber. So now we'll flip that. There we go. I should get in the habit of paying attention to the arrow here. It's very helpful. Alright. Have a look at our cucumber. There we have it. So as before, we can compare that to our previous, more fine grading, and you can see this is significantly thicker. I think this would be great for coleslaws and such, cheeses, many other things. It's pretty nice, pretty convenient, and again, it's just on the opposite side of the wider Julienne. So the thicker Julienne and grading are on this blade, the finer are on this. Just flip it over, easy peasy. This next tool we're going to go over, this is our grading disc. So with this is going to be wonderful for maybe grating some dry cheese like Parmesan or something. That's going to be really easy to use. Alright. For that we could use a lower speed, I think would be better. Let's have a look at that. Very finely grated. Again, careful with your fingers. And that's perfect. Melt it on your pasta. You don't have to worry about using a box grater and tearing up your fingers anymore. Let's go ahead and demonstrate for you the whisker. We have that here. Easily attaches. This is a twin beater geared whisk. And what we're going to do is whisk up, we've got 7 egg whites here. Carefully dump that in. Alright. Install our lid for the solid click, and you know it's ready to go. Let's have a look. Go with a light pulse just to make sure things are starting to mix up. I always want to wait till the machine's completely stopped before opening it, especially reaching in. Let's have a look at that. Look at that beautiful froth. Look at that. Very nice. The definition of that, you know, it's like a cloud. Very fluffy. Alright, let's demonstrate this disc here. This is an emulsifying disc. It's got a lot of uses. The one that we're going to show you is actually for whipping cream, but you can also use it for making mayonnaise, aioli, some other things. You can use it for whisking eggs, but I think it's most exciting to use it for whipping cream. For your whipping cream, you're going to start slowly and then use a high speed. And the trick with that, it can be tricky, is you basically want to stop before it starts to yellow, because that's when you're entering the butter zone. That's when you're starting to make butter. So we've got our running shaft and then our emulsifying disc attached to that. Let's go and give it a try. You can add your sugar and your vanilla extract and maybe some other ingredients later on. You always want to keep an eye on your whipping cream. Keep a close eye. You don't want to overdo it. I mean, it won't be waste, but you'll have butter instead of Cool Whip. There you go. So just a little more. You see the liquid's disappearing and it's fluffing up. Some people like to finish with a hand whisk just to stay in control of that final moments. This would be a good point to add a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of sugar, an occasional taste. I think we'll end it here. I don't want to overdo it. Take too much time either. So now you can see there's very little liquid. At this point I would probably finish it with a hand whisk just to be careful not to overdo it. Next we're going to give another demonstration of the chopping blade. Again, practice with care. It just sits over top of the running shaft. They both hollow side down. Make sure that's locked into place. So for this we have some cubed pork meat here. What we're going to do is just place that in here and we're going to mince it. We'll start with a little and see where that goes for us. Locked into place. Cover that up. I'm being careful with my hand here because I don't want to spread germs. Start light. Make sure that things are even. It's already mincing good. And then we can also use the pulse function. If you want to maintain more control, you can use the pulse function. Let's have a look at that. Very nicely minced. Just like that, we're ready to make a meatball or roll it up and put it into a dumpling, something like that. Easy peasy, very cool. I like that. And what was that, maybe 30 seconds? Next, we're going to demonstrate for you the plastic blade. This is great for making dough. So you make sure you lock that onto the running shaft. One more time. Shaft fixed in place. So here we have our water and flour mixture already measured out. You can always adjust that as needed. Let's go ahead and pour that in. And I think it would be easier if you do the flour first and then add the water from the top. That way you can just kind of control it more. It won't be stuck together in your bowl. So that's okay. Alright. We'll start with pulses to just kind of let things settle into place first. Be more in control. Alright. So how I like to do it, so I like to add that water while I pulse it a little bit. A little bit at a time. Just maybe 2 tablespoons to start. You see, that's a nice big dough ball. How's that look? That in the light there. Nice, very nice. Very good.